Dude, check it out, man. This morning I woke up in Blackhawk, Colorado at my house, and tonight I'm gonna be sleeping at 50 Mile Point on BLM 200, otherwise known as Hole in the Rock Trail. Pretty righteous. I drove my Jeep Renegade 50 miles on this OHV trail. Definitely gonna need some new struts, but it was totally worth it. And I gotta say, it is gorgeous. It is just too gorgeous. I am so lucky to be able to be out here. And the reason I'm out here is twofold. One is to have some fun, but two is to try to find Everett Ruess's inscription that he left in 1934 in Davis Gulch before he disappeared. He wrote the word NEMO, which is Latin for nobody, and twice. One of them's under Lake Powell now, but the other one is somewhere out there in this area. So I gotta check my map, my compass, but it should be directly ahead, and I gotta backpack down into the gulch tomorrow. But regardless of if I find it or not, just this is worth it. I mean, like, can things get any more perfect? They just can't, you know? Like, this is what life's all about, man. Just the beauty of nature, being alone in the middle of nowhere, the sun setting on a gorgeous day. Like, you gotta be grateful for that kind of shit, man, because you never know, stuff's gonna go wrong. Gotta enjoy those moments of beauty, and I gotta say, this is one gorgeous rock formation. Good life, man. Okay, so I'm here at 50 Mile Point because I'm about to go into Davis Gulch along the cattle trail and get to the point where they found the Everett Ruess's burrows in 1934 after he disappeared. And Everett Ruess is a fascinating character. You know, he was an explorer of the American Southwest, but really he was a kid. And when he disappeared, he was only 20 years old. A lot of people figure out about Everett Ruess from John Krakauer's book, Into the Wild, and then get way into him when you read the book Finding Everett Ruess, which is an exploration of, you know, his life as well as the Davis Gulch area. And nobody has yet found his body or any trace of him except for in 1934 those burrows and the inscriptions. One is buried under Lake Powell, and the other one is at the arch. Now, there's only two ways into the gulch. One is through the slot, which is a pretty good amount of canyoneering, and the other one is through the cattle trail, which is where I'm going to go. And this video is just going to kind of show you what I found and what I learned during that experience. Spoiler alert, I never found the NEMO inscription. It was just impossible to actually get from the cattle trail to the arch. But I did hang out where he would have hung out in 1934 when he entered the canyon. And it was an absolutely gorgeous place and a really fascinating experience. Hiking into Davis Gulch was not as easy as I thought it would be. Everyone shows these pictures of these last steps going down into Davis Gulch that the Mormons hacked, but you're actually just going like straight up the side of this wall here. It's like insane. Oh, I was so tired yesterday. I got like almost got heat stroke. There's just on the cattle trail in, right? You're just walking on this kind of saddle between two of these canyons, and fuck, no shade, no rocks, no nothing. It's just scrub, and like 1 foot tall scrub and little pokey things. And dude, oh man, it took me like 7 hours to find this trail. Well, it's not really a trail. It was just to figure out where the heck to go. And you know, I was trying to figure out how to get down there. You know, I was like coming down this way, over there, trying to figure out how to get into the dang canyon. And the only way is this one little trail, like right down there. So it's pretty nuts. But man, oh, it sure is beautiful. Oh, I almost got sunstruck though. when I got down, like I'd stopped sweating, my skin was all prickly, and like couldn't drink, couldn't eat. I just had to lay there in the shade for like 3 hours until my body cooled down. But yeah, that's my own damn fault. Nothing to do with this place. This place is just pure beauty, man. Haven't seen a single person since I started. You just can't get any more gorgeous than this. I mean, there's like frogs up in these holes up there. There's like a beautiful pool right there I'm about to go try to figure out how to get to. And supposedly you can bushwhack up to that arch where the NEMO inscription is, but I just don't see how. I walked over there and it's just totally covered in brush. I mean, there's just no way through it. So I mean, I guess I could just bushwhack my way, but I don't know, man. It just seems like I need a machete and like gaiters and pants that can not get stuck by things. I don't know what to do. So I don't know. I'm just gonna explore around here and see what there is to see. I mean, sometimes you just see stuff that's so beautiful in the desert. Like, where did this huge white flower come from? I have no idea, but it's just so beautiful, you know? These little orange flowers. I mean, purple, pink. So there's this pool that I saw. I don't know how the heck to get to it. Trying to figure that out. I know it's gonna be pokey. I also need to figure out if I can get out of stuff if I get stuck here. Like, it looks like I would get fucking poked super hard on my way back. Man, it's tough to get anywhere in this canyon without getting your legs shredded. Damn. I mean, I guess you just gotta send it or something. Alright. Jesus Christ. Alright. Oh man. Alright, I gotta get through all, oh my god, all these brambles. Fuck. Why is everything in the desert so damn sharp? There's nothing that the sharp stuff gets rid of. It's all just like lizards and various birds and stuff. I don't get what the necessity of sharpness is. Oh crap. That is too cool. Oh, look at this, man. What? Oh my god. How beautiful is this? Like, this is the kind of stuff, it just makes you so happy. Like, look at that. Like, look at just this beautiful set of flowers. Oh, wow. All right, huge win. Like, check this out. I made it down to the river, right? Kind of had to go through a couple areas of some intense pokies, but then check this out. Boom. I mean, like, talk about a spot. Oh, like, I mean, just look at how cool this is. I mean, this beautiful little waterfall. Like, damn, that's cool. I mean, look at all these gorgeous, like, little flowers and plants just growing out of the moss. I mean, just look at all this life in the middle of the freaking desert, man. And then this huge pool. Oh my god. I mean, like, wow. Alright, check this out, man. So I'm like wandering up here right next to the gulch, and I found all these pools, right? Well, you wouldn't believe what's in these things. I mean, there's like hundreds of tadpoles, water swimmers, little fish. I mean, like, look, there's a fucking minnow, dude. Like, living in this hole in the rock. Like, you're like, dang, man. Oh, I wonder where all these frogs go. Do they just hang out here? Do they go down to the gulch? Do they just live their whole lives in this little hole? You're just like, I don't understand. It's just so crazy. I mean, like, what a crazy world. This little universe right here in this hole with all sorts of life. Like, damn. Cool shit, man. Oh, man. So I got back from hiking Davis Gulch like late last night, which was actually really smart. I really, needed to come back at night because the way out, I got freaking heat stroke just without any, shade or anything like that to hide from the dang sun. But I wanted to kind of share a couple things I learned about Davis Gulch in case you're interested in coming here. One is that there is a lot of slotters, like people coming down the slot that want to go, basically do the canyoneering thing, but nobody goes to where the cattle trail intersects the canyon. Just nobody. I mean, there was like no footprints. No one had been there in a long, long time. And it makes it really beautiful for solitude. It really does. I mean, there's like being able to sit with only your mind, never see a person at all for days and days is incredible. And it's rare in today's world to have that happen, unless you're like in the Arctic or something. Anyway, or the desert. So anyway, though, the hike is pretty brutal though. You're going along this shrubbery, and I made a separate video with waypoints from where you start, like here on 50 Mile Point, and how to get all the way to the canyon entrance using the quote-unquote cattle trail. So if you want to get the waypoints, check that out. But essentially, like, you're just walking through this shrubland that's very, very harsh. And there's like no trail. Like the old cattle trail is like quotes, because you're just kind of walking where the topo map kind of indicates you want to be. So anyway, it's a harsh hike, and if you don't know where you're going, you'll just end up trying to stick too close to the dang canyon, and you'll just end up having to backtrack over and over again, and it becomes epically difficult. It took me 7 hours actually to get only like 3.5 miles, something like that, to the entrance, and it only took me 4 hours to get back. So yeah, the other thing is that the road leading here is badass, dude. It's so much fun. It was just like 50 miles of like empty, like dust, dirt, sometimes rocks road that I could just go like 60 miles an hour on in my Renegade and just be like, I'm pretty sure I might die. But it's all right because this is just too much fun. So yeah, and then once you get here, you're just like, man, this is gorgeous. Also, man, the animals are just incredible. I had such a great experience with animals. I saw kangaroo rats. I saw jackrabbits, huge jackrabbits, like big ears, just gigantic ears. It was crazy. And bats, like beautiful bats, like several different species of bat too, which is crazy. And then closer to the canyon, I saw all sorts of tadpoles and frogs in the pools, little fish, bugs. That was like epic, especially like, how the hell did this fish get here? You're like, did God just drop it from the sky in this pool? Because you're like, there's nothing upstream. It had to have swam like up a cliff You're like, how did this happen? But anyway, I can get the frogs, right? The frogs make sense. They can leave the water for a little bit, but the fish, that's what confuses me. So, and then there's the river or whatever stream is pretty basic, right? I mean, there's not a lot of water, but there's a huge pool, like an epic cliff diveable pool at the bottom right where the Mormon Trail intersects. It's like just right there. It's so cool. And in the pool, in the little river, there's all sorts of these little fish. I don't know what they're called. They might be called pupfish. Beats me. They acted like puppies. I would sit there and be reading my book, and they'd just all be lined up just staring at me, like all cute and curious. And I was like, I love you, fish. Like my little audience, you know. I even read to them a little bit. It was great. Talked to them. They were good. They were good listeners, you know. And then there's like some cool inscriptions. But the main thing is once you drop into the canyon, I mean, there's really not much, you can't really go anywhere, right? Like, there's a lot of slaughters here, and 0 of them have bushwhacked all the way to the exit there. So I'm pretty sure it's just, like, impossible. I tried to go up to go to the arch where the NEMO inscription is. Yeah, that wasn't going to happen unless I was, like, you know, Teddy Roosevelt and had like jodhpurs on and like a machete and like 30 people to help me clear a path, you know. So it just wasn't in the cards. Yeah. And then going down to the lake, that's more possible, right? But in the end, I was like, you know what, this area is just too cool. I'm just gonna hang around here, and it was worth it. The other thing I learned is that hiking back at night is easier and also just a little bit more difficult from a navigational perspective. I actually brought my flashlight from my MP5, so it literally has like a trillion lumens on it. It's meant to like blind somebody. So I was able to navigate pretty good, but if it was just my headlamp, I would have been like, dang, because there was no moon and because of the clouds last night. So it was pretty pitch black. But yeah, you can navigate back, especially if you know the waypoints. So regardless though, man, I came here to try to get, find Everett Ruess's inscription on the arch. Totally failed in accomplishing that. So was this trip worth it? Absolutely. It was gorgeous. And the best part of it was solitude. I actually finished 100 Years of Solitude while in solitude in the canyon. So anyway, I highly suggest coming here, and it's totally worth it if you do, and it's absolutely beautiful. And if you want to figure out how and not be with the huge crowd of slaughter people, I'll show you the waypoints in a separate video. Good luck.